it's Lori with Nelson Farms. We are here today with an armadillo trap. So we're in South Carolina and armadillos are not native here. They are an invasive species. So we do not want them here in our area. So our goal is to catch them. You do not want to relocate them. It's actually not, like you're not allowed to relocate them in South Carolina. So we catch them and kill them. This is our trap. And I'm going to show you, we've caught one, and you can look down there and see. There's its tail. So I want to show you where we set up the trap and why we set it up there and how we actually kind of got the armadillos to get over to the trap. So here by this tree, we saw some rooting, like they've been digging around this tree. So there's the trap. And what we did was we knew they were right here. So this is kind of a natural path for them to go. And we set up some twigs. You see those twigs right there? And there's another tree right there. So this is like the path they're gonna walk to get in that hole. You see that hole back there? That's where they're going. So it's natural for them to come straight through this area. And the trap door there obviously was open. So it was natural for them to walk right into that trap. So we've lifted up the doors on the trap and the armadillo is just sitting there. You can kind of nudge it out when you're ready for it to come out, but you don't want to touch it with your bare hands, of course. So we took care of the armadillo and now we've got the trap set back. You can see we got the sticks here kind of funneling the armadillo. The tree's there, the sticks are there, so the armadillo is going to naturally walk right into the trap. And if you're in an open area, you can just put some 2x4s or something just to kind of funnel it into the trap. They don't have really good eyesight and they kind of go by feel. So they're going to feel their way into the area you want them to feel their way into. So we're going to show you how to actually set that trap now. Okay, so make sure wherever you put your trap, make sure that it's level. That is critical because you don't want the trap to go off without an armadillo in it. So I'm going to show you how to set it. When an armadillo comes in here, it's going to set the trap off and the doors are going to ideally drop like this and trap the armadillo. But to set it, you're going to pull this middle part down and the doors are going to go up. And you have to do this very precisely. You want each door to be perfectly lined up like this. And then there's a little nail thing here and you just hook it there. But after you hook it, you want to make sure that each door is lined up correctly. And if it is, when that armadillo goes in, it'll shut like that. So again, I like to do one door at a time like this. Make sure it's lined up. And it's good to go. So as I'm showing you guys how to set the trap, John Nelson has a different way of setting the trap, so I'm going to show you his way. You can choose. They're both right.
So basically I just grab this trigger bar, I pull it down, it's going to pull the doors up evenly. I make sure everything's centered. And then that's it. Whichever way you want to do it.
My way's better. So the armadillo trap that we have is from thearmadillotrap.com. They have two options, an unscented and a scented. So we actually got the unscented because that's all they had at the time. It's worked really well for us. We've had it a while and we've been successful with it. When you catch one, it's actually ideal to leave it in there for a few hours before you release it. Ours was $160. If you get the scented one, it's about $230. But we have been pleased with it and we highly recommend it. So the reason that we're actually trying to trap the armadillos and get rid of them is because they're not a native species, they're invasive, and they can do some serious damage to your yard. We have experienced it. They dig burrows, and they will dig burrows like 7 or 8 inches in diameter and up to like 15 feet long. And if you have kids or animals, that's like calling for a broke leg. So they can really cause some damage to your yard. They can dig up your flower beds, just really nasty. And they can also carry the bacteria that causes leprosy. You never even want to touch an armadillo with your bare hands. They're pretty nasty. So this is why we trap them and we get rid of them. And you're not even allowed to rehome them. You have to get rid of them when you catch them. So we are in South Carolina, and we are able to trap these year round, but be sure to check the regulations in your area. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.